All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Appreciate you guys jumping in, joining along. We'll see if Puz joins us. I do not believe Mr. Stasek is going to be with us today, as he heading south to the 2 days once a year that you can go grab some lobsters in Key West. So he is off to lobster days in Key West with his son. So definitely a trip that's in the calendar. I told him he's gonna have to get all the details for us, and definitely on my calendar for next year.
I used to do that. Are they diving?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be so fun.
Yeah. Looking forward to all the details and the fun and everything from that. So what up, cuz?
What up?
So here we are, guys. We're almost to the end of July, which is crazy. So we're a month into the third quarter. It's interesting, kind of what's going on. And cause I had conversation this morning with the Lacasse, who are up in the Virginia market, as they are a part of the Bright MLS. And I don't know if you've kind of underseen or anything, kind of what's going on in that store, what's going on there.
Which market is it?
So they're in Virginia, but it was an Inman article that came out, and I don't know if anybody has any more insight or information on it, but it was really the Bright MLS has made the move, and one of the top MLSs in the country, and they're allowing listing brokers to offer the buying side nothing, no compensation inside of there. I mean, when you hear something like that in the direction and MLSs are allowing that, I mean, is it kind of trying to head out in front of whatever battles going with NAR, or any insight that you may have or thoughts around that?
What the current thought process is. Interestingly enough, I actually got this from HOA Herald. Is that they're going to allow listings to be put in the MLS with the agent to negotiate or try to finance in the fees with the agent, which is not going to work. Nobody wants to finance an agent's commission over 30 years. It's a stupid ass plan. That's kind of some of the talking points that they currently have. There's going to probably be agents that put deals in the MLS where you have to negotiate your own commission. That's going to be probably what happens. There'll be other agents that are smart enough to know they better put something in there for the agent, which is, it's the way it's done now. I mean, in all honesty, you have to put something in there for the other agent. Sometimes they offer a co-broke of 2, sometimes they offer 3, sometimes they offer 2.5, whatever. But, more important than ever, which is what we've been teaching forever, you better be able to negotiate, what your fee is and how you get paid.
And that was and of course, the Lacatas are, they believe in the expert advisor methodology and NAEA and CHSA, CHBA processes. And I said, guys, just let's remember. And, now we're talking compensation, and just write it down, come back to it. In the absence of value is when people question price. And the only reason that they're going to fight you on any of this is that if you cannot articulate your value to solve their problem. And so let's walk it back, right? You have a compelling reason, a hook, or that they want to reach out. You build rapport, you discover what their pain points are, what they're trying to accomplish. You articulate your value, your process, and then they believe that you have a solution to help them do whatever it is they want to do. And at that point, and this is the feedback that we would always got, is like, well, what's that going to cost me? And then you explain to them how you get paid and how the process and what it's going to be. They're going like, damn, I thought it was going to be more than that.
Yeah.
And that's because you're bringing the value.
The same thing we used to do with, any difference in our fee, right? So same thing we train to is you charge 3.5%, you can charge 4% to a buyer, and then you can ask the seller to pay the difference. So it's the same. It's going to be the same process. You're going to negotiate with your buyer. Here's what we charge. We charge 3%. Now you're going to have to do it. People that got lazy didn't do it. Now you're going to have to negotiate that and then be able to articulate, here's all the things we do and how we get paid. We charge 3%, and we're going to ask the seller to pay that for you. If there's a shortage in that fee, you would have to make up for that. Historically, what we've seen is that most sellers that want to get their property sold are going to be willing to pay our fee.
Yeah.
And we just put that in our buyer's agency exclusive
Right.
agreement, right? Yeah.
Right.
That's on the commercial side as well, by the way.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. It's just
what's going to happen. What's going to happen is the less valuable agents are going to make less money. That's what's going to happen.
They're already discounting their fees. That's what I've
Right.
heard I'm on a local realtor. You guys told me, Clubhouse. I was going to knock them out and not do it, but it's my networking, right, to bring them with the ESP because I got a
Good job, by the way.
Albie put a challenge out there, and I'm like, I want those tickets. I made 3 posts on social media. I'm not even on social media, so I just copied his for the Rock and Rescue.
There you go.
Going all out.
Hey, I love it. Yeah, you're a doer. You know what?
I'm a doer. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to be calling you.
I know.
I love Jesse, but he kept trying to qualify calling Friday. I said, damn it, I'll take it. I'll get one of you guys. You're not available. It doesn't matter. I'll just pre-qual him and then I'll do it next week.
There you go. Keep moving forward.
I'm going to. I'm going to burn up your whatever those 3-way calls are.
What I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Tell you, it's one of the indicators that we saw who was going to be growers in the beginning and who wasn't, was the number of 3-way calls scheduled. I mean, it really.
I heard that. I'm listening to you, but I'm going to try to I'm going through all your training so I get it right. And like one dude on Friday, by the way, his brother's already looked. I found it on LinkedIn. So he's really trying to get the family in place. He hasn't signed up yet, but
Right on.
it's going to happen. He's a football player, and you were the perfect one. Did you know that?
Yeah, you nailed that. It was great. It was a great call.
She could have been a better 3-way call person. And I didn't know. It's like a Texas A&M dude. His other brother's a dude. We're going to have a football team. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah. Athletes are great. Athletes get it.
I think that should be my niche because my son wanted to play D1 baseball and I love sports. I mean,
yeah. Well, anybody who's any good at sports knows what discipline is. So
yeah. Exactly. And they'll follow what the coach says, which is you
Yep.
guys, right? So it's like they're perfect.
Yep.
Sorry.
Just like you.
Okay, sidetrack.
Great student.
What's up, everybody, man? Thank you guys jumping in. Any thoughts, questions? I mean, really, that's what this carved out every week for.
Jay, how are you?
Hi, how are you doing, Carmen?
Good. I saw your presentation with Brent, Build 23.
Yes.
And I love it. Can you share with that? Because I'm like you, very straight. And I love how you explain how you do it because, I like it. And I would love to have all the steps that you have, the dialogues that you have, that presentation. I love it. Yeah.
Yes, I will. Let me reach out to James Stroop and see if he can send that to me. They can't put that on YouTube because I showed some numbers in there that they don't want to put out there public. So I'm going to have him send it to me and then I'll edit out that piece. And we'll get it up on all our training sites and whatnot.
Brent sent me something. I don't know if it will help you if I send it to you, but I think it could have everything on there.
Oh yeah. Shoot it over because
now, how do you want me to send it to you?
Just send a link. Just send me a link to whatever he sent you is fine. I'll dig it up and download it. However,
on your email. Okay.
Oh yeah. Jay@jkinder.com. Yeah, we've got a lot of those presentations I've done. They really don't change much. Updated a few slides, but I can't find any of the ones that I've done anywhere. So we need to get those up just on the training site and whatnot. But I'll get that done. this one was as good as any of them for sure.
Yeah, thank you. I really like that. I have not finished it, but I like. Yep.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Cool. Any other, whatever's on your mind, questions, things you guys are kind of stuck with that you want to throw out there, take advantage of this time. It's what we jump in here for. And, definitely the more the questions, the better.
Okay, I haven't gotten to the training. I'm just going to come right into it. So I got my guy, Caleb. I know he's coming on board, and I'm just trying to be patient and not push too hard. So where's the training on that? Because I am not patient, and I don't want to push too hard. But I know he's coming. So do I just focus on new people and just trust that it's going to happen, or how do I?
It's trust me. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people, 13, 14, 15 people that I would consider 80% there or better, which is that's kind of my working hot bucket, which is the people I think I'm going to get. I'm about 80% sure I'm going to close all of those people. And it probably averages 60 days. It just is a process, and it doesn't. Some people move over right away. Some people move over in 2 weeks. Some people move over in a month. But I'm going to say the average is 60 days. So there's nothing more frustrating with that, but you stay high bandwidth. Try to get them to reverse engineer a date that they want to try to make the move by, and then follow up accordingly. That's the best I can tell you.
And I'm thinking too, just keep loving on them a little bit without pushing. I think some of your I'm working on learning how to do that, so I can send them to a little hey, this would be good. Like some of the expert, what you do, John, he'd love that while he's getting himself together and all that. And wait, I was asking you, I knew we were going to close him on Friday. I'm going to close that's what I do. And I didn't know how to even get him signed up. Now I just did that. You guys have the perfect process, so I know what to do when he decides to go. It's shit, that's what it is. Jay,
Hey, I love it.
I got it. I'll have it. I'll be good at this once I figure it out.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to be said about what you just said, because a lot of folks get ready, and I always say,
I pull the trigger and then figure out what to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. And that's the way to learn. It's like saying, well, I don't really know how exactly to write the contract yet, so I'm not going to really call any leads, because I don't want to, because I'm not real sure about how to do that part. No, you go get a buyer, get them ready to write a contract. You'll figure out how to write a contract.
My state managing broker took me to the cleaners. I already had the deal done, and it was like, you fuck it up. I would have closed the deal. It was right there. It's like,
right. I love it.
Hey, just real quick, this is the first time I'm on one of these calls. Is this more around agent recruiting, or like what's the topic here, or is it pretty much just open?
Yeah, the purpose of this one is for agent attraction. We can answer any call though. Anything that you need while you got us here, go ahead and ask away.
Hey, so quick question. As far as lead sources are concerned, I've been calling around some places, to put some money into some lead sources and stuff. But man, it seems pretty pricey. For example, I was talking to Ojo yesterday, they're wanting $2,200 for 25 leads a month. I found that kind of pricey, and I'm like, man,
crazy.
Scale something.
I got you, Charlie. All right. So go to honeybadgernation.com. Mm-hmm. And scroll down to Friday replays.
Are we talking about the Facebook funnels?
Yep. Those are, if you run those funnels, you're talking $3 to $5 a lead. I mean, I hear something every day that just blows my mind. Is somebody generate leads? I had an agent in Virginia. I think she's in South Carolina. I think it's north of South Carolina. $1 something a lead. I mean, if you set it up properly and follow that process, the lead cost is going to be low. So, anything that's, a lead is a lead. You give me a Zillow lead, a realtor.com, give me 100 of each, of any kind of lead, Facebook, Zillow, Google pay-per-click, any possible one of them. And I'm going to tell you that it's going to close between 2 to 3% of 2 to 3% closing ratio is going to be about what it's going to be. And that's pretty standard. So the biggest variable is cost per lead. And, the other variable that we used to have would be the average cost per lead, when you have to take into consideration that you also have to pay for a technology, but you get provided KV course. So you don't have, all you have is an $85 a month fee for that. So really, the more you can drive down cost per lead, the more you can crank up the lead volume to get the numbers, then the faster the deals will come in. That is literally the name of the game. And, and at each stage in the process, there's opportunities to optimize and improve upon in the funnel. And I was talking with Brady about this yesterday, because we're laying out some more specific training for onboarding and into using some of these lead gen campaigns. And if you talk to in fact, actually, John, I listened to your clarity call you did and in Expert Mentors episode, I think 86. And you were breaking it down. It's understanding, the current situation. If you talk to 30 people and didn't set an appointment, then we have a people skill problem. We have a sales skill problem. We have what you're saying problem, right? And so, get on the Thursday calls is the call to, the Thursday Wally calls. It's all about, every Thursday he's teaching, exactly what to say, how to say it, how to overcome objections, determine their motivation and timing, like all of that. There's that's that until you feel like, because if you talk to 10 people and you set one appointment, and you can up your skills and talk to 10 people and set 3 appointments, that's a huge bottleneck, a constraint in the funnel that can be improved upon, and it can always be improved upon. And so until you have, at not even at mastery level, once you get your 20 hours in, what I'm saying, like you can be very, very good on the phone. So, that's the other point could be, is the constraint could be in that you're not reaching these people. Are you calling them in the first 5 minutes versus the first 30 minutes? That's a difference of 100, and according to an MIT study, 106 times more likely to ever make contact with a lead if you call it in the first 5 minutes over the first 30 minutes. So
wait, what does that mean? First 5 minutes.
So if you call a lead, say we generate a lead off of anywhere in any kind of lead.
From when you receive that lead,
when you call them in the first 5 minutes versus the first 30 minutes, it's 106 times more likely that you'll reach them if you call them in the first 5 minutes. That's such a huge lever, right? And so you have to, in order to get throughput, meaning number of leads to contact and conversations to appointments set, that if you're calling them in the mornings when you get in, and you're not calling them as soon as you get them, you're already losing the game. Like you're already so far behind the odds of ever reaching that person. So you have to understand where's the bottleneck, and how do I solve for that?
You gotta be ready to go.
Yeah. And the thing is, people think, oh man, no, they're going to think I'm, bothering them, or this. No, that they filled out a form because they were in real estate mode, doing something real estate related. They feel like
they
that's
want to know now. They don't want to know in 20 minutes. They've got something else on their plate in 20 minutes.
They forget they even did it. So yeah, it's just, but yeah, anyway, so it's fresh on my mind just because I'm going through a lot of this stuff to kind of improve our setting up of people for success with lead gen. But Charlie, yeah, it's the best thing I've seen in I don't know how many years, over and over and over. It's just working.
I've checked out the replays, and you're absolutely correct. I mean, the leads that we have been generating from those Facebook ads that Brandon is doing in comparison is, ridiculously low. I just ran one a couple of weeks ago, and they were literally under $2. Typically, they're between $3 and $5, but that one funnel, and I think it had to do with price point, was literally under $2. So outside of the text and email campaigns, and obviously making the calls, is there anything else that you would add on to that mix to help conversion at all?
No, in all honesty, the only other thing that's going to help you with conversion is the process you use for how you manage your follow-up, right? And so Braden teaches this, and he's dead set on it. And we have a few people that we hold accountable because we have them on our budget. And so he does an accountability call where he goes in and looks and see how they're dispositioning the leads. And he talks about that in one of the videos. I would go back and look at that and just say, it's not, sometimes it's not something you don't know. It's something that you know, but are you actually doing it? Right. So you may know what you're supposed to be doing, but are you actually doing it? If you were being truthful about and looking at, your disposition of the leads, setting up the alerts, putting them on market updates, Are you doing that with every single lead? And so those are all the best practices. And then, having the alerts set up for when they see a property 3 times, if they view a property 3 times, or if they favorite a property, getting those alerts and making those calls, that's going to help you with people that you've never made contact with. But it's also a good time to follow up with somebody who you have a scheduled follow-up set for, right? So if you're not moving people through that process the right way, then you're not getting the benefits of the technology helping you to stay on top of, the relationship that you have formed with the people that you spoke to, and then getting a hold of some people that maybe didn't respond for months, right? And so as this builds up over time, the technology actually becomes more valuable, just in keeping you, with I sit down today, I'm going to call these first, these, then these, right, as they come in. And so that's probably the only other thing I can say is really, look in the mirror on the process. Am I doing what I know I should be doing, or am I getting lazy with it? And a lot of times we get lazy because we get busy, right? We stop following the process. But I don't know of anything else that you could. I'll tell you one other thing. I'm glad you asked the question, because this is actually probably a really good idea. So the only other thing that I would do is personalized video text. I think if you add that into the mix, make it personally relevant or professionally relevant, meaning it's relevant to what it is they're looking for, real estate wise, market update wise, or it's relevant to them personally because you know something about them. I think that is probably the biggest lever that you could have on top of the automation side of it.
Okay. So
some stuff just doesn't automate, right? You got to do things sometimes that just doesn't automate. And go back to the word that Jay just shared is like, it's all about the experience. It's the experience they have with your ad. It's the experience they have in your funnel. It's the experience they have in your conversation. It's the experience they have with your video. It's the experience they have with you on Zoom. It's the experience they have with you. Like, if you can just take, you guys have to learn, it is the experience they have, right? Because lifetime value is more critical now than ever. And you've got to be able to go deep. And the reason is that people don't trust. And the only way they trust is authenticity times time, vulnerability times time equals trust. And so you have to look at, okay, my brand, and all brand is reputation. What is your reputation? Is your reputation trust? Do they trust your reputation? And we know that most people, when they're searching for a home and they get connected with an agent in the beginning, there is zero trust. And so what are you doing to create that experience? And everything Jay just said about sending that, like, don't just say, well, it has to automate. No, like, unfortunately, no, it does not automate. You have to personalize. And I love that we're having this conversation, because you're like, well, how does this pertain to agent attraction? Everything. Because I tell you, 95% of the agents, 97% of the agents out there right now, they're struggling with this. And the reason they're struggling with this is because over the last 3 to 4 years, they've been rewarded for bad behavior because the environment has caused them to be reactive instead of fundamentals to be proactive in what they have to do. Jay, one of the best agents on the planet, Kyle Davis in Norman, Oklahoma, is top agent out of Norman. He's going to be one of the top, agents in the state, if not already close to it. He got served up a reminder yesterday for the follow-up process. A slam dunk listing that's on the corner right across from campus. He lost out as a $20,000 commission check because he didn't follow up. And you know what his focus had been? His focus had been on training and what do we say, getting back to that process. I said, you got reminded of where the constraint is in your process, and now the constraint is in your follow-up. And what are you doing to make sure that you have those conversations, that they're not falling through the cracks?
Herbie's the last moved on him.
Yeah, like he's sick. He's sick. He's physically sick at his stomach because he knows what he fundamentally did wrong. And I think, getting back into that and being able to, model that behavior for not only, yourself, but modeling that for the agents you're trying to recruit. And then like, guys, like get them on this call, get them on Wally's call, get them on Braden's call, because that's where agents are struggling right now.
Mhm.
They don't have the leadership. They don't have the guidance. They don't have the training. They don't have the support that they're going to, really, I hate to use the word need, but they're going to need to build that momentum in Q3, because everything we're doing right now is for Q4. Then everything we do in Q4 is for Q1. That's how we have to be thinking, and just staying proactive. But, Charlie, one thing that I do want to add, because, it seems like you're already running those things. We talk about oil wells and making sure, and it seems like you were seeking, maybe investing in a couple other oil wells. Was that kind of the, maybe a little bit of the question as well? Hey, where could I invest some of my profits, some of our marketing budget, and to help generate?
Yeah, we were kind of thinking around alongside that. But when I spoke with Ojo and they told me what they were wanting for the amount of leads, I was like, man, like I was having a hard time with that. And Facebook came to my mind like right off rip. I'm like, man, but I could, come up with these, like, if I put that same budget towards something like that, the amount of leads I would get would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
But Jay, also you mentioned about the one time that the Friday funnels that was recorded where Brandon was talking about the dispositioning of the leads and stuff like that. Do you know which one that was?
Not right offhand. Let me see if I can figure out which one it is. I think I'll know it when I see it. So let me look there for.
While you're looking for that, cuz Charlie, one other thing, and if you guys don't have your Google, all of your Google stuff dialed in and on point, you have to. I've got Chris Durbin on Expert Mentors next week. And Chris is crushing it with Google and Google ads, local service ads. I've had an agent that has not been able to get her stuff dialed in. He got her stuff fixed, dialed in, on point. He's on Expert Mentors next week. You guys do not want to miss that conversation with Chris. And his wife, Jackie, is the one that does a lot of the KV core training within the EXP ecosystem. So just tune in, guys, because what we were just talking about with, kind of what Jay was talking about, right? Once people fall into that on-demand funnel, right? That lead capture, and then we're following up and who's this Kinder guy? What's human behavior? What happens? They'll go to Google and they'll Google Jay Kinder. What comes up, right? So getting to meet Charlie, I go and I Google Charlie, what comes up. And, that's important for all of us to take a good look at. Do you like what comes up? First, do you even come up? Do you even show up? And so you just have to remember, how people think, how people shop. And so they're going to do that on you. They're going to go to social media on you. And so that's got to be a component in that we're doing. And it's the same thing on our agent attraction efforts. Like, I mean, are you're talking to an agent, they're going to Google you. They're gonna be like, who's this person? How went up? So Chris is going to have some insightful information. There's obviously things that you guys can do.
Also, is it about Google My Business? Because I was going to say, anybody that's on here that everybody that I haven't even set mine up, but if I do it today, I might be ready for the call with Chris next week, because it takes time for them to verify where your business is.
Yeah. Are these the GSL or whatever it is, Google service, something or another?
He's going to break down the difference in the two, how they're different, the local service ads versus pay-per-click ads. He's going to get into all things Google, but even the Google my business, the business profile. And that's like I said, I had an agent that she just gave up on it. She hadn't been able to set hers up. She just gave up. And I was like, let's take one last swing. And I connected her with Chris and they got it fixed. Actually, Chris, literally messaged me this morning saying, hey, we got it fixed.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's me. I gave up I spent months trying to get my Google local ads set up, and I got reviews from people, and I got this and I got that, and I eventually just gave up. Like I don't know what the heck.
There's always a way. There's always a way. Connect with Chris. Make sure you guys are on Expert Mentors next week. I think it's we want as many dang oil wells pumping in our business. And this is good, right? Being able to help agents, part of agent attraction is being able to help them. It's like, how many strategies do you have to generate opportunities? And, for us, I mean, our foundation was on 3, right? We had an on-demand lead generation platform. I mean, ever since I've known Jay, we've had that. We built everything around, guaranteed sell. And then we built everything around lifetime value, which was our raving fan club. And everything we did, all of the other strategies revolved around guaranteed sell. Prospected expires for sell by owners, guaranteed sell. We did billboards, guaranteed sell. We did radio, guaranteed sell. And then we had our on-demand lead generation platforms running whatever, everything that was out there. The only thing that, and we would have talked guaranteed sell. We would have talked why our market. We would have went YouTube. That was the next move for us. I mean, it wasn't in existence at that time. So have those strategies, not only for yourself, but being able to model that. And this is the questions when you're talking to agents who are struggling, what are all the strategies that you're utilizing right now to generate opportunities for yourself? Charlie, thank you for opening up the
Yeah, you're welcome.
hole here.
First time on the call, like, hey, let me just jump in and ask, right? I mean, I could take no, I get that all day, right?
As you can tell, Jay, this is definitely you hit our passion button. So being able to jump in and help you guys.
I love Jay's contribution about the video text. I think that might be something I could do with Caleb that he would respond to.
Yep.
Hey, Jay, by chance, did you get a chance to look back at the replays?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, I did. I put it in the chat. It's the one that's on conversion, but it's also in the chat for everybody.
Oh, sweet.
I think follow-up is key with those leads, although that's not something that I use right now. Maybe I should get over to residential and just make some money over there first.
Hey, Jay, is it possible if I spoke with Braden to maybe jump on one of those accountability calls to see how he does? I've got a small team, 2 other agents with me as well.
Yeah.
And I do distribute some of those leads to them also. So I'd love to see how he does that whole accountability. Maybe I can kind of model
absolutely.
that.
If you just message him, I know he's on Instagram.
I got him off Facebook. We've exchanged.
Hit him up and ask him if he can just send you a Zoom call, a Zoom recording of one of his calls that his accountability calls.
Okay, cool. I'll do that. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Is there time for a quick question? Or
go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Good to see you.
Good to see you, buddy.
Quick question for me is I've just been getting back into more of the agent attraction stuff. And I think the big hurdle that I've been trying to overcome, and I know we've talked about it in different ways, is there's some rock stars that are part of my company and my market. And I feel like my limiting belief that I'm trying to get over is that everybody's been talked to by the people that know how to talk about the model and seem to offer a lot of their own value on top of the model, right? Like I like to talk about how great EXP is, and I can show the video and set up a 3-way call. But I think where I'm struggling with is like how I can articulate the value that I can give an agent that I bring on underneath me, instead of them just saying, oh, well, I talked to so-and-so in your market, and, they see the value in joining kind of the bigger, more dominant player. So I'm just wondering, I've been trying to leverage that person and explaining that person's still part of our downline and you got access to all that. But I seem to be struggling on that connection point there. Just wanted to know if you had any thoughts on that.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think that you're, I still believe this. I used to get this question, like not exactly this question, but essentially the same challenge. And anytime you find yourself trying to sell them on EXP, you're talking too much, right? Like that's always our default, is to want to try to sell them on EXP or sell them on it. Say, you want to make the connection and edify someone else as the guru, the person that can help them with whatever their A is to their B, right? So that's the key. And you have a great story, bro. Like you've grown your business tremendously. It's a natural conversation for you to have. Be like, listen, if that's what you're trying to do, I got somebody that can help. It's not about EXP. It's about helping them go from their A to their B. And that's,
Right.
they'll get on a call for that. But they're not going to get on a call to hear somebody pitch EXP. But that's what the beauty of the three-way call is that, you know, you have your testimony of your story of who's helped you grow and how it helped you and your business. And you can tell that story and with enthusiasm and conviction. And that is going to convince them to jump on a three-way call. And then we will help transition the conversation to the partnership opportunity. You know, that's to me, that's the key. Like if you're, you know, if you find yourself getting into that conversation too deep with EXP, man, just hit the pause button and be like, hey man, I think I have somebody that could really help you. You know, if I could get this guy on a call, would you be willing to jump on? That's the default, man. I mean, I can just tell you from all the, all the calls that I do, when my days are filled with three-way calls, I can tell the difference that, man, I made a difference in that person coming over or not. You know, I feel like I make a big difference in those calls. And I think it's more, not so much exactly what I say, but it's the belief that you blow into me. You know what I'm saying? The belief that you're giving them when you edify me, that I'm going to be able to help them with whatever they're trying to do. And then my ability to just kind of unpack what they're trying to do and how we can help them, and then how they're going to get access to that in one way, shape, or form when they partner with us at EXP. It knocks down, it's the big domino that knocks down all the little dominoes, right?
Gotcha. So it just comes down to like focusing it on getting them on the three-way call and making it more about finding out where their bottleneck is, sort of, right?
Yeah,
So
what are
just
their
pitch-
pain points? That's all
Yep.
in this this training that is exactly what he says. It's like, as soon as they ask you about, if they ask you about EXP, don't talk about it. But if they do, say, it's great, but tell me about you. Turn it like immediately, shut it down, and then talk about their pain points. And that's exactly what Jay did on my call. I should have known he'd already made a decision because his dad told him she's with EXP. You got to call her, got me on the phone. I'm like, 12 hours later, I have him on with Jay. So I knew. Jay's like, I don't sell real estate. I said, we're closing on EXP. Get off the call. But Jay didn't talk about EXP. You didn't, did you? I said, this dude can help you. I knew his pain was needing to a plan to grow a business in real estate. That's all I knew. And Jay just like ran with it. He didn't even talk about EXP or football. I thought you might have talked about football, But see, so my point is, he addressed his pain, and at the end of the day, I said, "Hey, are we going to close on this?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, I thought we were going to close."
Yeah, he was ready to go.
But I think we follow the training. Go back to the training they're providing us. Just keep remembering, don't talk about EXP because they all think they know, and they don't.
Yep.
And your upline is awesome. It's like killer. You don't have to worry about you. You've got the best upline there. I mean, you're just so blessed to be in this group. You gotta know that, own it.
Totally.
Jay, was your dad a Coldwell Banker broker?
Yes, he bought a Coldwell Banker franchise in 1997, the same year I got my real estate license, right out of high school. And so yeah, he finally moved over to EXP last year. So he was my longest close. It took me 6 years.
So let me ask you this: Does your dad do any sort of agent attraction at all?
A little bit. He's in a really small market where for years we were dunking on everybody. So I don't think that helps. We used to beat up on everybody pretty bad there. He does a little bit, yeah. So he does a little bit of agent attraction, but he doesn't really focus on it that much. I mean, he's got property management, 1,000 doors. He's kind of halfway retired, but he does a little bit of it, but not a lot. And he doesn't follow the process.
Okay. Because I used to be with the Coldwell Banker broker prior years. He and I still remain friends, and I've been trying to get him to have a conversation. Maybe pass him on to like a three-way call or something like that. Gil is actually my upline. He was my sponsor, so I was trying to get him either to Gil, one of you guys, or something.
Yeah.
I'm having some difficulty trying to achieve that, right? And I think most of it has to do because he's pretty much in like semi-retired mode right now. He's got about 40 agents in his brokerage. I mean, honestly, looking at the numbers, I can't see personally how the brokerage is profitable, unless it's just beneficial for him because I know he's got other investments to write off that as a loss. But how would you approach trying to get someone to agree to jump on a call who's kind of in that mindset, semi-retired, this whole brokerage thing?
Right.
And if he was
Yeah,
to come
it's one of two things. It's either pain or opportunity. It doesn't sound like he's seeking opportunity. There might be some pain there. And I would say the only other thing that you might be able to uncover is, what is his legacy he's trying to leave? Does he have anybody, any kids that are in place or anything of that nature that he's wanting to, to keep it going or anything like that? No. Yeah. I guess maybe ask him that, that deeper question of, man, what's your legacy? What do you want? You've been doing this X number of years. The one thing you got to be careful of is, with franchise agreements, it's called torturous interference.
Wow.
If they're not within 6 months of that franchise agreement being up, we can't legally recruit them. We could be sued for that. So just make sure, that if you're talking to a franchise owner, that you're not talking to somebody who's not engaging you as opposed to you soliciting them. That's a big
I'm relying heavy here on the relationship that I've got with him. I mean, this guy, he's come literally to my kids' graduations, birthday parties, so
Right.
on. So,
Right.
He's become a really close friend of mine and friend of the family as well. So,
Right.
All right, cool.
Yeah, man. I think in those situations, man, it's like, man, I have so much respect for you that I can't let you not see this. Like, you have to at least look at it, and you can say no, but you have to at least look at it, like, and at least tell me if I'm crazy, and use that approach. But to get him to to look deeper, and then with someone like that, I would send them the the EXP for Teams video that's in the app. In the Honey Badger app, that
also Chuck Fazio is pretty good with bringing brokerages over.
Yeah. Anytime you get somebody on with Chuck Fazio, Chuck is really good.
And he has focused on that specifically. So I'm sure he would help you if you want to help.
Awesome.
I'm working on the commercial side business brokering, and I think thinking about the next legacy, in other ways, the next season. You can probably have a personal conversation with them. What are you doing in your next season? Because we all kind of have a next season, right?
Right, yeah.
He's almost there, and this could be that's very painful for many people. So that's a pain point. As
I like
Jake.
that.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing in your next season? That's good.
It's a good conversation starter, and then I think you're gonna slay that, Charlie, and bring them on board. Could be celebrating it.
Love it. Good stuff. Any other thoughts, questions, things that you guys need some insight or clarity around as we're wrapping up the month of July, getting ready to head into August?
Is this thing recorded?
Yes, sir.
How soon do you post it?
I can get you a link back out probably tomorrow or later today, actually.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Sweet.
So I've lost my damn wealth chart. I got it all printed up. Jesse said I'm the first one in his group to print one. I can't find the name. So I'm printing a new one, and I'm going to end up with two.
There you go.
It's like wherever I go, it's going to be there.
Right.
Next time it'll be right behind me.
It's powerful.
I laid it out to flatten it somewhere, and I can't find out what I did. And I think
You need to get one of the big ones. You got to get the big one.
It's big. I'm going to send you a picture. I have.
How did you lose the big one? That one's hard to lose.
I rolled it up, and she didn't do it right. It's in my BNI group, and she did it, and it's laminated, and I couldn't get the damn thing stuck on the wall. It fell off of my. And it's like shit. I mean, it came back, and I'm like, I met you guys at Build. I'm doing this thing, and I wanted to have it all set today for you because I got my people.
There you go. I love it.
I'm printing a new one, and I've got a board, and I'm ordering the glue myself. I don't care. You will be up next week.
I believe you.
In 24 hours.
Good stuff. Good
With
stuff.
names on it, right?
With some names on it. Make that list, that hit list.
My list. That's my challenge from Albie. I got to get my tickets to the Rock and Rescue.
Where do you get these boards that you're referring to?
I believe you can download that at newwealthchart.com.
New wealth chart.
I think that's right.
There it is. Carmen's got hers.
Yes, I have mine, but I have so many names now. I have everything not organized. I'm like, oh my God, what I do now?
You have it printed 24, yeah, like here's the board. And I ordered laminate fit to go on top. I mean, it's like $80 and I'm not having to redo it for $80, so I'm doing it myself.
You have to put the www in there, but it's www.newwealthchart.com.
Got it.
Oh, that's good. All right, is that in the chat?
I'll put it in there.
Yeah, I'm going to give that to all my recruits for sure. They better have their chart up and running.
That's how you do it. It's, I mean, there's no doubt the results are going to come for you. I can tell you that.
They better. I told my husband we're coming to Puerto Rico to go fishing, and you guys like boats just like him.
Oh yeah, we'll have a blast.
He's starting to listen.
Yeah. I can't help you with that.
Those are the places we will go.
Jay,
As I'm so broke.
where do you suggest that I look for the presentation that you did in Build?
So I just messaged James Stroop. I'm going to get it put up on honeybadgernation.com as soon as I get access to it.
Okay.
So just we'll have it up on honeybadgernation.com. I'll also post it in the Honey Badger group. So just kind of be on the lookout for that.
Okay, super. I will.
Yep.
Thank you.
Love it. Great call, guys. Jumping in, the questions, the interaction. It's really what these calls and this time is all about. Definitely want to be a go-to resource for all of you. Jumping in just wherever you're stuck, take advantage of the time with us jumping in. Like I said, I know usually we've got Mr. Stasek, but he's heading out on an epic adventure. Definitely one that is in my calendar for sure.
You better bring us pictures next week.
Oh, he'll have plenty, I promise.
I used to do that, but my dive master was a Marine, and he shot fish as well. And I was a bag lady. It was so stupid because they come after you. You know, they come after the blood from the fish and lobster. Wasn't the sharpest knife in the drawer underwater.
Cause anything that we want to leave these rock stars with before we?
No, man, great call, great questions. You know, go back and do the work, man. Follow the process, man. I see it over and over in so many different areas. Process is what speeds things up and gets the results faster. So just be a student and always go back to the process whenever things aren't working, because it's usually something you're missing, right? But great call, great interaction, great questions, and was great call today. So appreciate you guys.
Thank you. We appreciate you. We got to get to work now.
All right, guys, let's get
Get
it.
our
We'll
names
see you next
going.
time.
All right.
See ya.